This is EBSEC's online support program for grade 11 and 12. This lesson is for class 11. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. So today the topic of this discussion that we have is chapter number 1, responsibilities of the youth. This chapter comprises of the speech of the founder of Pakistan, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. He always paid lot of concern towards the students and the education policies. In this speech, he provided guidelines to the university students for a successful life. So we believe that after going through this lesson, students will be able to have the general idea of the text, that what is the text about. You can infer the theme or the main idea of the text on your own. You would apply critical thinking to interact with the text, use intensive reading strategies as well. And also, obviously, you may answer the questions related to the text which is present at the end of the lesson. Students, you must know that from 1947 to 1971, Pakistan was comprised of two parts, East Pakistan and West Pakistan. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah delivered this speech to the students of Dhaka University on the convocation ceremony in 1948. He talked about education policies, importance of language, and motivate students to become a leader of tomorrow. The text that we have as a lesson, chapter number 1, is an excerpt from the speech of that very address of Quaid-e-Azam to the students of Dhaka University. And as I told you, it was delivered on 24th March 1948, and obviously the occasion was the convocation ceremony of the university students. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah started his speech by addressing the chancellor of the university. He told them that out of his busy schedule, he found the time to attend this very important function, a necessary occasion, which was the convocation ceremony of the university students. Why he found it a very important occasion? Because it was a chance to have a speech with the university students, the leaders of tomorrow. He also highlighted the importance of the subjects that were taught at Dhaka University. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah advised his student to the importance of realizing one's duty and fulfilling it. He asked them to perform the duty as it is ordered in our religion as well. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah expressed his well wishes for the youth of the Dhaka University. He wished them good luck for the bright future and to become the future leaders. He also told them that they were fortunate that they got degree in the independent state. He also emphasized the students that they should own the country. Also, he taught them that they must understand the implication of the revolutionary changes that took place with the creation of Pakistan. He told them that shackles of slavery were broken. It was 1948. Remember this. Pakistan came into being in 1947. So he told them the shackles of slavery were broken. They were in a free state. What is the need of the day? Free government, working for the good of state and people's welfare. And as they are the students, so it is their time, it is their job, it is their duty to perform toward the people of the state and for the good of the state. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah highlighted the responsibility of a free nation, of free people. He urged them that they should be ready to sacrifice personal interest for a greater cause, for the good of the state. He asked them that they should work like a united and disciplined nation. He told them to be constructive, not militant. Spirit is the requirement of time. Militant spirit was needed to fight for the independence, but it is now their education and their own spirit, energy that is required for the development of the country. He also told them that going to jail is much easier than to run the government. Means working for the people is really important, and really very hard work to do for the people and for the state. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah then discusses the condition of the Pakistan right after the independence. He told them that there are many difficulties for the creation of Pakistan, but still there are many, even after getting the independence. Because in enemies they do not want the creation of Pakistan, and now they are starting to work to destroy Pakistan. He also highlights the Holocaust of Punjab and Delhi, that how people were murdered, thousands of men, women and children were mercilessly butchered. Millions were uprooted from homes, and as a result, more than lakhs refugees arrived in Punjab, Pakistan, to get shelter. And it's reality that even an established government would have faced problems in letting such a huge number of refugees that just a newborn country had faced at that time. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah then talks about that creation and survival of Pakistan is a miracle. Not only Pakistan survived the shock of that upheaval, but also emerged as a stronger, more chastened and better equipped state. He hopes that the enemies would fail in their mission and they would become disappointed again. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah then shared the problem faced by the Pakistan as the newborn state. He talked about that the due cash balance was not given to Pakistan and the arch enemy India was responsible for it. The division of military and financial assets were not fair. Military equipment was also withheld by Indian government. Then Quaid-e-Azam hopes that mindset of Indians people would be improved gradually with time. Then Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, our beloved leader, advises students to note these developments, that what are the happenings with Pakistan at that time. They were the future, so they must be alert. They should know, being the future leader of Pakistan. He asks them to be very vigilant. Then Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah suggested some measures to tackle the situations, and then he talked with the students. Students, one thing, remember this, that this address of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah is to the students. Basically, it is for you. So you should know that what Quaid-e-Azam thought, what was he planned, and what actually he thought of the outcome of the students. So listen to it very carefully. He asked them to be very fair to yourself, means to be honest with your learning, your dealings, everything that you do, be honest with it. Be fair to parents as well as to the state. Yes, what does it mean? What is the meaning to be fair with the state as well? Give me your views. He also then declared that the first duty as students means you people. He is talking about you. He declares that first duty as student was to seek education so that they would be able to be well equipped to face challenges of life. My dear students, this address of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah is for us, especially for you people. You are the students. You are the future leader of our country. You are the one who are there to make our country develop, progress. I advise you all to go through again the chapter and think and now start think like that how Quaid-e-Azam speak to you actually. Then Quaid-e-Azam also clears that why he is giving these pieces of advice to the students. He told them that by acting on these pieces of advice, they would become the asset, strength, as well as the pride of the state. They would assist in solving the greater social and economical problems, as well as they would enable the country to reach its goals of gaining the position among the progressive and stronger nation of the world. Then Quaid-e-Azam, in a very friendly tone, warned the students of the certain group of people. He warned them of fifth columnist. Also, he wanted them to be vigilant and to weed out selfish people who might hinder their progress, of course for the good of the state. Then he advised them to find truths, unselfish and honest members of society who wish to serve the state and people sincerely and honestly. So what is fifth column? A fifth column is any group of people who undermine a larger group from within, usually in favor of an enemy group or nation. The activities of a fifth column can be overt or clandestine. Forces gathered in secret can mobilize openly to assist an external attack. This term is also extended to organized actions by military personnel. Clandestine fifth column activities can involve acts of sabotage, disinformation, or espionage executed within defense lines by secret sympathizers with an external force. Then Khat highlights the issues which students face after getting degrees, that is having jobs or to start their earning. Mostly youth hankered for government service. The Qaid pointed out the flaw of old system of education. He talks about the old system, that it was the system of education that aimed at producing well-trained and well-equipped clerks only. He says that civil service was introduced by the Britons, later included Indians as well. He warned the students that the main aim of introduction of civil service was to produce a particular mindset that only government service is better option. Hence, the Qaid motivated the students to go for other jobs as well. He cited the example to see the truth. He compared the financial conditions and social status of government servants with the menial servants. The Qaid also pointed out government's inability to absorb all educated people in the government sector. He says that failure in getting desired government job might demoralize the youth. He was afraid that such disappointed youth might be exploited by selfish member of society. Then he gives some pieces of advice to the students. He asks them to divert aims and ambitions to other channels of life as well, not shouldn't stick with the civil services, the government jobs only. He emphasized on manual work and labor. He motivated them to seek technical educations because it was a need of time. In 1948, it was a need of time. He realized at that time that technical education was the need of the time. Then he highlighted the need to go for the subjects related to commerce, as there were new industries, banks, companies, commercial firms being established. The youth might flourish in these sectors as well. In his opinion, the Qaid highlighted the conditions of government servants. He cited examples to motivate students to change their mindset. So the homework for you is that you have to do exercise questions. Answers should be completed in 40 to 50 words. Question must be written, must write your name on every page of your assignment. Yes, page number should be written on each page. Writing and work should be neat. Before submission, do read your answers and correct the mistakes. If you have any question, you may ask, but I urge you to go through the slides. But prior to it, you should read the chapter first, Responsibilities of Youth. I also advise you to Google some speech of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and comprehend it really correctly, that what he actually wanted to say or expect from the students. Thank you so much.